Okay, so now we finally get to create a port for our town. As you can see, I already tried using these new roads from the Bridges and Port DLC, but it failed miserably. So I'm completely changing the plan. So I'm gonna flatten out the terrain where the harbor itself is gonna be, and also I'm gonna expand some land just to give it a bit more clearance, and also making this riverbed a bit more smooth, because it was too deep for not only for a river but too deep for harbor itself. I've also completely rebuilt and redesigned the port because I wasn't able to fit docks and stuff. And also that gave it a bit more realistic look because it was just too small for even for a river port. Now I'm gonna build something a bit more interesting on this section here, and it's gonna be like a abandoned water treatment plant or something like that. That will make this whole area a bit more interesting and engaging. So let's see what we can find in static buildings. Okay, so this part turned out much better than I expected, actually. Now I've added some of these pillars as well, so it doesn't seem like it's floating in the air like it used to. The only thing is this giving me water damage, even though it's static. Now pretty much the only thing left is to just detail this building a bit more by using some graffiti and dirt decals, and that's gonna make it pop out a bit more and also give it that old look. But yeah, unfortunately I couldn't find the ones that go to the walls and stuff, so yeah, only the actual buildings. Alright, so as you can see, I was able to sneak in a couple of those. They look really cool, especially with the new water tweaks. They look really good underwater, and they look more like this concrete. They look more like wrecks rather than the actual dirt or wear. So that's even better than I expected, to be honest. Yeah, that's pretty good outcome. Pretty good outcome, I would say. And yeah, I'm really liking how it turned out. I'll see if I can add some more of this dirt stuff underwater as well. Okay, back to the port itself once again. I was clearing out a bit of land around it and adding some surfaces, and I've decided to put this pedestrian dock or quay around it just to give it a bit more depth. And I don't know, it kind of makes it look a bit more industrial in my opinion, because, you know, more concrete. The more concrete, the better. And it also makes like a nice little boundary around the port itself and everything else on top. And that's the main reason for doing this is because I already went that sunk in route, so that would make a bit more sense than just having everything left to the land itself. This makes it a bit more tied up together and a bit more tidy. Okay, so now it starts to look like an actual port. Like I said, it's gonna be small scale, very small scale for it, just a river port. And now the only thing left is to connect this actual port to the outside world and see if we get any shipping. I'm also gonna add some production so we can actually export something. Hopefully it's gonna buy something, not just sell. We'll see. What the hell is going on here? Look at this. I was about to say we have a functional port, but I've no idea what's going on here. The ships just keep doing that for whatever reason. I guess this one is gonna wait for the other one to unload or whatever. But it's crazy. I'll just leave it for now because I don't want to make a bigger mess. But anyways, I need some industry here. I think that's what I'm gonna do to fill this space in. All right, not bad. Not bad for just to fill in the space at least. And I'll have to do something about this oil field. I really don't know how they actually look, to be honest. But certainly gotta do something about this this whole thing. It doesn't really look realistic to me, to be honest. So first of all, I'll remove the fence, and then we'll do some intensive surfaces slash decals to make it hopefully more realistic. Oh, let's go. I had to add another one, and I did that off camera, unfortunately, because I was having some trouble with the mods. So I had to go in and fix that, and in the meantime I did this, which is a bunch of surfaces, and, or actually not surfaces, a bunch of decals. So I've used this one, grass sand, texture 55, which is from Real Vision pack, and then I use a bunch of the other ones, these dirt or ground ones. And then I use a bunch of other ones, so to kind of create this, you know, gradient of decals, and so majority of it is a grass sand. Now to kind of envelop all of this into, I'm gonna try to use this Sully's white sand. I already tried with the golden, but it didn't quite. So we're gonna try with this white sand instead. That should be better, hopefully, to kind of surround this whole area, basically. And let's see how I gotta zoom in slightly. There we go. Yeah, I think it works. Certainly, it certainly looks better than the default texture, that's for sure. All right, so I'm gonna demonstrate you basically how I did it for the most part. So usually combining these two decals, and this sort of gives it more depth, but just make sure that you place it under this one as close as possible, just enough not to overlapped there. Just enough, place it under just enough so it's visible, but it's not too predominant over the other stuff. Yeah, I can kind of fix it with this overlapped thing with other decals. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And if there are any blank spots in the middle, I would use this smaller one. And in some places I obviously used this dirt decal, and also there's one grass or moss foliage. Yeah, it's called foliage, but it looks pretty much like a moss, and you can use this. You can use that for some spots to kind of give it a bit more depth. And it's pretty much here. Yeah, that's where I used it. So yeah, I think that turned out quite okay. And now for the next step of detailing, I wish these weren't so scattered around like this, and we're able to move them, but unfortunately not. So we'll have to work with what we have, and I'm gonna hit play just to at least somewhat be able to tell where these vehicles are moving. And what I'm gonna do is use some of those They're called, they are here, and sorry, go to find it, not extra assets. So go to the props, fences. Okay, there we go. So hopefully this is going to be used by our industry once it gets a bit bigger, and the trains could directly load and unload oil in there instead of going through the whole system through the city and stuff. So yeah, that should be able to help immensely, at least in the future, like I said, and we'll see. Alright, that's more like it. It's dirty industry after all, isn't it? So yeah, that's pretty much a better way of doing things. And of course, I need to extend this dirtiness all over the place, because why not? That's number one. And number two, it would make sense to not have grass, right? I mean, I don't have to destroy it completely, but at least to some extent. There we go. That's much more realistic. Of course, there's a lot more to do, but so far it's certainly much better and interesting, much more interesting. So now I just want to find some decal that could cover train tracks as well. So this one will be like a base, and now I'm gonna find one that will cover tracks as well, so we can blend it in a bit more, at least this little section here. Alright, so I tried to kind of strategically place bushes and trees and a variety of things to kind of cover up the repetitive sections, or just to cover up the places where the decal is missing. And yeah, I think looks quite alright. Definitely gives off that pretty old section of railway, and also used a lot. And I think it's quite fitting for dirty industry such as this. So yeah, really happy with how all of it turned out. There's a lot more to do, of course. Alright, so here's a bit of a aerial view of our brand new port and industrial zone where we exploit oil. It's one of my favorite spots down, believe it or not. I really do like it. Now let's check how our bridge looks. What the hell? Oh, damn. So we have flying cars, flying buses, and it's 2077 or something. Oh, God. This is crazy. And the greatest part about this is that they flew through that gap between the shipping containers, and they're just passing through the ship itself like it's nothing. Right, that's That's quite fascinating, to be honest. I'm actually surprised that we didn't see a train flying through as well. It's so far it's only buses and cars. But anyway, jokes aside, I built this bridge off cam because I had a lot of trouble with placements and everything. So I've kind of built it ad hoc, to be honest. And I wasn't even sure. I spent like hour or something just trying to find a suitable bridge for this, because the um, original version included a train, separate train bridge just right next to Highway 1. But what happened there is another bug where when ships arrive, only highway bridge would lift, and I had one of those yellow ones. Right, so I'm pretty happy with the results so far. Everything functions well as supposed, and our industry is booming as well. And apart from a few issues, like population constantly going up and down, and problems with the bridge and harbor with ships, other than that, it's pretty good. And in the next episode, we are gonna tackle some issues with population, expanding on residential areas and stuff like that. So if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future updates, and I'll catch you in the next one.